talked with you where he told you, this is your team, I'm not going to be a quick hook or anything like that. Was it good to hear those words kind of reassuring to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was, that was when he looked at the name of the starter. He said, look, I just want you to go out and be yourself and play and not worry about anything else. Which I think for me, that's, my mentality is like, purpose. This is something I've worked towards and I'm not looking back. So it was good to hear him say, but I don't think, like I said,
Brian, how important is it for a starting quarterback not to always be looking over his shoulder?
I mean, I'm always looking at the opponent, to be honest with you. I mean, we're trying to be the best team we can be, the best offense we can be, so it's not something that even crosses my mind.
Are they any differently defensively than they have been for years?
I'd say scheme-wise, not really, but there are some new faces. I mean, you got a rookie, Shazier. I think Coach told us he's the first rookie to start an opener for the Steelers since the 70s, maybe the second person to do that. So, I mean, he's from Ohio State, so I watched him play a little bit in college, and you could see, why he was a first-round pick on film. And, obviously Ryan Clark is gone, and they have Mitchell playing safety back there. So you look at it, and, so you definitely have to watch some of the preseason tape because there are some new guys. But like I've told you guys before, I mean, you watch Steelers film, I mean, you know what you're going to get because they are so well coached, they're so disciplined, and you just got to be able to, take what they give you. You don't want to have to force them because, they are disciplined. They know exactly where they're supposed to be, and that's what you expect when you play the Steelers.
When you put up in the meeting room earlier this week, the rivalry with a question mark, and you put all those things down. Being from Cleveland, you're obviously aware of that stuff, but what was the reaction in the room when that went up on the screen and you guys got to actually see it with your own two eyes?
I think the biggest thing is, that's in our rear view. That has no effect on the 2014 season. Obviously, the rivalry will always be there because it is AFC North. There is a history, bad blood between the cities of Cleveland and Pittsburgh. I mean, that will always be there. But I think the biggest thing is, whatever the record was before this year, that has, that means nothing when we step out on that field on Sunday. So I think, I think it was good for him to point it out, but for us to realize that has no effect on the 2014 Cleveland Browns.
Well, obviously, you started games here last year, but this is the opener. It's the Steelers. There's been a bigger build-up. Does this feel any differently than that start against Minnesota last year?
I think I'm just more prepared. I've had more time to work with the guys I'm going to be playing with, more time to be in the system. So other than that, I don't know. I mean, it's an NFL football game against a division opponent, so it's no different than us playing Cincinnati at home. I mean, obviously, we're going into a hostile environment in Pittsburgh, and that goes into it. But I don't think every game is an NFL game, so you have the same mentality going into each
Ryan,
one.
do you have a feeling as to what the personality of this offense will be, or do you wait to see what evolves?
I think we're going to wait and see how it evolves. I think we have many different ways we can go, which I think from an offensive standpoint is a great thing. The defense guessing, and we'll see how it shapes up. I feel really confident. We had a great day of practice today, so you have to take that build on it. Obviously, we'll go into more situational stuff tomorrow, but I feel really comfortable with the plan that we have going out there and kind of our mentality going into this game.
Is it daunting to go against a quarterback that has a 17 record against the Browns?
I'm not playing against Ben. Our defense will be, so I'm not worried about him. I think he's a great quarterback. Obviously, a guy who's won 2 Super Bowls. I think that speaks for itself. And obviously, me being there for a few weeks, I got to get to know him. So, I mean, I think you know what you're going to get with Ben Roethlisberger. He's going to be a quarterback who leads his team down the field. He's going to make plays with his feet, with his arm, and our defense knows that. I think they'll be prepared for that. But for me personally, I'm not playing against Ben Roethlisberger.
Hey, Brian, when you were with New England, were there any years in those 3 seasons where Tom Brady had as much turnover from one year to the next that you have had in the other skill players?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I think when I was in New England, there was a constant influx of skill players. I mean, I remember one year where we picked up a guy late in the season and he's in there playing in the Super Bowl. So, I think it's something that I watched him, work through and get used to. And for me, I'm no different. I think if anything, I'm used to having having to work with different guys, whether it was scout team, whatever it is. And now we've kind of really got our core group of receivers, tight ends, skilled players together, and now we're getting more and more reps. So it should only get better for me.
You've talked. Go ahead, Mickey.